Hi, I'm Rachel Corbani. I'm one of the owners of R40 Diesel. We're a diesel performance shop in Destin, Florida. I'm going to shoot a quick little series of videos. The first series I want to shoot on the Ford 6.0. I think she gets a really bad rap. But today I just want to share some information about the EGR components of this vehicle. I've had many customers come in and a lot of them have expressed to me that they just want to hear about these components and what to do about them in layman's terms. So I'm hoping that this will help all of my customers and any of you out there that have questions about the EGR system in your truck. The two components we're going to look at today are the EGR valve and the EGR cooler. This particular cooler was pulled out of an 03. It's an early 03. The only difference between this one and 04 to 07 in the Ford 6.0 series is that this one's round and the others are square. Basically how all this works together is, this is for emissions. It's a federally mandated law where automakers have to find a way to reduce nitrogen oxide pouring into the environment. The EGR valve is PCM controlled, which means that's your truck's computer. The PCM sends a message to this EGR valve to open. And when it opens, the cooled exhaust gases are routed back into your intake manifold. This mounts directly on your intake manifold. So the way the whole system works is, on the back of your motor, you have your white pipes or down pipes, as some people call them. One of those pipes connects to this EGR cooler. Water comes in, take a look here. Coolant comes into this pipe. It goes out from this pipe. So your exhaust gases are forced from those down pipes into this EGR cooler. And if you look inside, you'll see it's got all these little tubes. So the coolant flows all around and the exhaust gases are forced through these little tubes. And then they say to some degree, up to 700 degrees, it will cool those exhaust gases down before our EGR valve opens and those exhaust gases are pushed down into the intake manifold. Now, that's how it works. The design is to limit nitrogen oxide into the environment. Step 2. Many of you have probably heard of the EGR delete before. If you're going to be running your truck off-road, it's a farm truck, you can actually bypass this whole system. And I'm sure that you can see the benefits too. Your coolant's going to be cooler, you're always going to run a little bit cooler because you're not having to force the super hot coolant back into your coolant system. It's just an extra load, it's an extra load, I guess, really, on your motor. So you can delete all of this, and there's different kits out. Sinister makes a great one. Everybody, aftermarket guys make great products. We use block-off plates and reroute the coolant and get rid of this altogether. But that's for off-road usage. For on-road usage, there are better quality EGR coolers. Most 6.0 owners that I know have replaced this lovely part a couple, 2-3 times within 100,000 miles. Some people believe it's because it's an air heat exchange. Works a lot like a radiator would, and you get bends or you get problems inside and you could have a failure that way. Also just overusage, the overheating over time, it just breaks down that air heat exchange until it's no longer functioning correctly. So those are basically your two options. You can go in and delete it altogether, or you can go in with an aftermarket product that's a better quality and sustainability for your truck. A lot of people will ask me, what are symptoms of an EGR cooler failure? One of the first symptoms most customers experience is coolant loss with no external leaks whatsoever. So if you're noticing you're down coolant all the time and you don't see any visible leaks under the truck, it's a pretty good indicator that maybe your EGR cooler is starting to give up on you. Another one is, say it has failed. It has failed, and when you start your truck, you get a bunch of white smoke coming from the tailpipe. Most of the time you're going to smell kind of a sweet smell with the white smoke. That's a good indication that your EGR cooler has failed and it either needs to be deleted for an off-road vehicle or upgraded with, say, a bulletproof EGR cooler. What happens when the EGR cooler fails? That's a question I get a lot. Well, several things can happen. All the way to catastrophic failure, complete hydrolocking of your motor, because that's worst case scenario, blown head gaskets. There's a lot of different scenarios. So this is something that a lot of 6.0 owners deal with, and a lot of owners are just looking for a way to not ever have to deal with this again. So that's our first lesson for today, how our EGR system works, why it's there, and what you can do about it. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and let's go down this diesel road together. Thanks.